her way to the ring from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Natalya.
Product of the Hart family dungeon, carrying on the legacy of the legendary Hart family in sports entertainment. Natalya always ready to handle things inside the ring.
Now the daughter of Jim the Animal Neidhart, the niece of WWE Hall of Famer Bret the Hitman Hart.
Got the power of her father and the finesse of her uncle.
And her opponent, from Dublin, Ireland, Becky Lynch.
Egos on the line here tonight, guys, in this submission match.
You're absolutely right, Michael. Losing a match is one thing, but admitting defeat via submission is something no superstar ever wants to do.
One woman Becky Lynch goes back a long way with is third-generation superstar Natalya. The two became friends during the 2005 independent tour of Japan.
Becky and Natalya went their separate ways, Cole, before reconnecting a decade later when Lynch debuted in WWE. It was a thing of beauty to see that friendship disintegrate so quickly.
And guys, I've been looking forward to this submission match ever since it was announced.
We discussed Becky Lynch's history with Natalya, and what stands out to me is that both are former SmackDown Live Women's Champions, and both superstars are experts in submission wrestling.
There's no doubt about it, guys. The WWE Universe knows that they are in for one heck of a ride when the Irish Lass Kicker's disarmor locks up against Natalya's sharpshooter.
Oh, shoulder breaker.
Oh, right on the arm.
Not good.
One of the things a superstar who's competing in a submission match has to be careful of is if they have an injury or have been injured in the past and people know about it. You can bet in a submission match that your opponent is going to target that body part immediately. It's like having a giant bullseye on an arm, leg, ankle, or shoulder.
Byron, you brought up that a submission match can be especially dangerous for a competitor who's injured or had a known injury. I think that's why it's just as important in a submission match to be able to reverse the submission move from an opponent as it is to apply a submission maneuver to an opponent. If a superstar can't reverse an opponent's submission, then they're certainly going to be in trouble.
Some superstars have more than one submission at their disposal, and it becomes a pick-your-poison scenario for their opponent. It also depends on the match. Some submission matches are based on winning via a submission move, and others involve a competitor having to use the specific submission they've chosen. The WWE Universe witnessed a classic submission match at 2016's Extreme Rules event. The Queen, Charlotte Flair, defended her Women's Championship against Natalya. The one thing I thought was unfair about the match is that there was a ban against the Nature Boy Ric Flair being at ringside. If Flair appeared, Charlotte would lose the match and her women's crown.
Suplex! Corey, you spoke of the submission match between Charlotte Flair and Natalya, and I need to point out that this match was not Flair's figure eight versus Natalya's sharpshooter. Victory could be achieved by making your opponent tap out to any submission maneuver. I think we all know why the Nature Boy was banned from ringside.
When Natalya had Charlotte locked in the sharpshooter, it seemed that the Queen of Hearts was going to be crowned the new champion. Of course, that was until Dana Brooke distracted Natty, giving Charlotte the opening to lock on the figure eight and force Natalya to submit. It wouldn't be a Flair match without a little bit of controversy, would it?
I'm going to go on the record right now and say Natalya is the physically strongest woman in sports entertainment. There's no way anyone can match power with the Queen of Hearts, though I think Natalya's strongest when her heart is black.
Natalya has incredible strength and the ability to channel that strength in different ways. It would not be wise for an opponent to try and get the best of Natalya in the power department.
There are so many things a superstar needs to be wary of when locking up with the Queen of Hearts. But the first thing Natalya's opponent must accept is they can't try and match power with the third-generation superstar. Bad idea.
Look, I'll give the Irish last kicker this. If time has proven anything, it's when Becky Lynch gets on a roll, her opponent better watch out. On a side note, I must admit, Lynch has some of the best arm drags since WWE Hall of Famer Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
The Irish last kicker, telling her opponents how she really feels. Keep your eye on this one. I'd like to add something to what you said about Becky Lynch, Corey. The Irish-born superstar has incredible offensive ability. You can tell when Becky starts to take over a match. And yes, the arm drags are definitely an homage to the Dragon.
And Michael, when Becky Lynch starts to heat up in the ring, her opponents usually get burned by some straight fire.
Oh my God, a clothesline!
Right across the back of the neck.
Something to keep in mind when squaring up with Becky Lynch is the last kicker can just as easily lock you into submission as she can realign your spine with a suplex.
That's obvious. Becky Lynch's repertoire is impressive. What concerns me the most, Cole, are her vicious strikes to an opponent. I'd say they'd cross the border of illegal.
Oh, straight forearm. As we mentioned, something that's become a trademark of Becky Lynch is her ability to dominate an opponent in a split second. And Corey, it's outrageous to imply that Becky breaks the rules in her matches.
The first ever SmackDown Live Women's Champion wants to show that it doesn't matter who you are. When you play with straight fire, you are going to get burned. I don't think she should challenge her. Natalya is sports entertainment royalty, and this is the first third-generation female competitor in WWE history. Female to survive training in the Heart Dungeon.
She's got the skill and the stamina to really do some damage here.
Beautiful technique.
Becky Lynch being pressed hard. Becky Lynch seems helpless. Over Natalya's impressive career, we've seen her be the affable, gracious, and fun-loving Queen of Hearts. And we've seen her to be the merciless Queen of Black Hearts.
Natalya's been on both sides of the fence, so to speak, when it comes to following the rules, but either way, the superstar is known for her no-nonsense attitude and intensity.
We're looking at complete domination here.
Really targeting the back on that one.
All measured up.
Becky Lynch just too fast for her.
There it is, the Bexploder.
Man, she knows how to make a comeback.
All that's left now is for Becky Lynch to finish.
Nailed it.
A few inches off there.
Inches? She missed by at least a foot, Cole.
And it's Natalya with the reversal.
Severe damage being inflicted to the back.
You gotta believe this one's over.
The reversal by Becky Lynch.
We got him. Got the up. Got the disarmer. Wow, she's fought her way all the way back here.
I think Becky Lynch just secured this match.
Becky Lynch wins.